18, Richland High School. We ready. Let's go. Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 1951. Hollywood stars are all the rage. I'm Betsy, and as a starlet myself, I will be guiding you through the spectacular talent that our production has to offer. No. Please no autographs. Have your people talk to my people, because I need to get this started. Let's take this away.
Hello. Hi. We're the Essence of Renton, a culinary club here at the school. So we practice our culinary skills and we practice catering skills after school. Today we have an event.
There has been a theme that has been chosen for this event, and so we are practicing culinary skills and incorporating different aspects of the culinary scene back then to our skills right now.
And today we are going to be making a spicy
cheese ball.
We'll be using our handy dandy little food processor here to mix everything together. A run through of the ingredients, please.
Okay, so we are making 2 servings right now, and so we doubled the ingredients. Right now we have our cream cheese and we have 2 cups of that. We're gonna be throwing that into our food processor with our handy dandy spatula here. So while she's doing that, we're gonna be adding in our cayenne pepper. Now this is optional, and we have 2 teaspoons of that in here. So we're just gonna be adding that in there. And as she goes, we have our black pepper, and we have 2 teaspoons of that, adding that in there. And we have our salt here as well, and that's 1 teaspoon. And next we have our minced garlic, and that's 2 teaspoons as well. And we have our minced parsley, and we chop this really finely, and that's 2 tablespoons. And lastly, we have our sharp cheddar cheese, and that's 2 cups. So we're gonna be adding that in there. That's our last ingredient. So we're just gonna put that all in together and just pulse it together and just gonna process that. Yeah.
Okay, so now that everything is in the food processor, we are just going to pulse everything together until it mixes smooth. Okay, so when you pulse it, it clumps up like this, but don't worry, you can use your spatula to push it down and mix it better. And that is almost fully mixed. Once this is fully mixed, you can transfer to a bowl and refrigerate it for an hour before rolling it out.
So once it's refrigerated, you take about a spoonful of the mixture and then you put it in your hand and you cup your hand and then you roll it on the top to make a small little ball. And then once you're done with that, you'll put it on a Ritz cracker and then you'll be finished with this finished product.
Journalism, are you ready for your close-up?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lauren Wetzel, and I'm the main editor for the RHS Arrow. Here with me tonight are 2 of my colleagues, helping with the live coverage of this event. Over at the computer is my assistant editor, currently scrolling through our online website.
Hello everyone, my name is Lauren Mueller. I'm the assistant editor and work on opinion pieces for the Arrow.
And over here is my staff writer, who's going to be taking pictures of the event.
Hi, my name is Emma. I write editorials, features, and the unsolved section of our student news site. By the way, I'm going to need some signed consent forms to use photos from the home.
Some important aspects of our journalism program here at Renton High School are, as a class, we strive to become better learners and prepare ourselves for future careers. We do this by attending journalism conferences at the UW, participating in job shadows, and doing community service work. Students are subject to experiencing real-life scenarios while getting the idea of what journalism jobs are like in the really life.
Please remember to check out RHS Arrow by the end of the week to read the article on tonight's event. If you want to read our other stories, download our app on the Play Store or App Store and allow for notifications.
No production would be complete without explosions and special effects. And the space age is all the rage. We have to have our rockets ready at a moment's notice. So chemistry, show us how it's done.
my name is Miss Bejoy Gamilla, and today we are here at the event, and my group is doing chemistry, and basically what we're doing in chemistry is a rocket science lab using different ratios of hydrogen to oxygen gases to launch the rockets, and our best distance is 29 feet, and our goal was to launch it at the farthest distance we can, and that's what we did in chemistry.
First, we had to combine hydrogen and oxygen in different ratios in the bulb and test how big each explosion was. The bulb was split into 6 sections, and we had to combine different ratios of the gas, ranging from all hydrogen with the 6:0 ratio of hydrogen to oxygen to all oxygen with a 0:6 ratio of hydrogen to oxygen.
This test tube uses zinc and hydrochloric acid to produce hydrogen gas that is collected at the top here.
While this test tube uses hydrogen peroxide and a catalyst to speed up the release of oxygen collected from up top here.
Moving the bulb from here to here allows us to collect both gases in the same bulb.
It is important to leave a little bit of water at the bottom of the bulb here to prevent any gas leakages. We released our gases into a flame, and a relative loudness scale was used to observe the different ratios.
We found that a 4:2 ratio was best, so we made more bulbs of this ratio to put on our launcher. At that point, we can change the angle and the height of the launcher to get the best distance. Our best distance was 29 feet.
The ratio of 4 hydrogen to 2 oxygen matches the balance reaction shown here as 2-to-1 ratio, which gave us the most product in the small amount of space with no leftover starting material, which gave us the best explosion. Thank you.
Good one, and it's supposed to give you that image of being drunk somehow, and I feel like
I'm Mr. Benno. I teach IB psychology. My students here are presenting different things. There's 3 things that they're looking at. The first thing is looking at light and how light enters your eye. They're going to look at pupil dilation.
The size of the pupil changes in response to the different light levels. The purpose of this is to attempt to keep the light level entering the eyes constant.
So, for example, like at the hospital, if there's an unconscious patient, the doctor would dilate their eyes to see if there's brain activity. And so that's like one of the important things about pupil dilation.
The pupil gets bigger when there's less light concentration and smaller when there's more light.
The second thing that we're looking at is handedness. They're going to look at how quickly they can move beads with chopsticks from right hand versus left hand.
The right side of the brain controls your left side of the body, and your left side of the brain controls the right side of your body. So in this demonstration, as you can see, it's pretty easy to move beads with chopsticks if you're using your dominant hand. My dominant hand is my right hand. But if I switch to my left hand, it takes me a lot longer to even pick up a bead, and it's a lot more challenging for me to move. So this demonstration shows handedness and how when using your dominant hand, it's easier to do things with your dominant hand. It's pretty self-explanatory.
And the third thing that they're looking at is perception, and looking at perception goggles and talking about how neurons get affected when you're under the influence of substances. So those are kind of 3 things that they're going to be exploring today and having people do hands-on demonstrations with.
we have these perception goggles that alters your perception. So this one demonstrates someone if they were to be smoking marijuana, and it just has like a different perception of from like where we are now to if you were to be high. So it just shows how everything is when you do all that stuff.
Our next featurette wakes up the Pythagorean theorem with a twist. These students take it to the next level with digital mapping and 3D rendering.
Hi, I'm Andrew. I'm Bruce.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm LaDeja. The idea was to draw our own map that was a roadway through a forest.
Hi, my name is Kaylee Daniel, and I am a part of the math department here at Renton High School. Most of the time we learn through groups and through exploration in team activities. The thing that we're presenting today is a project based in Pythagorean theorem and trigonometry, where they take line segments and topography and figure out elements on their island based on the information given.
So we measured each road length using the Pythagorean theorem or the distance formula.
Because there are coordinate points on a map, we could use either formula.
The idea behind the distance formula is just that it's a solved Pythagorean theorem.
So once we had all the measurements, we used the tools that we made to check our work on the computer.
The tools input data to get a digital representation of our map.
These two tools are basically a protractor and a distance measure.
Here's an example of how we measure a road length using our distance wheel.
You ready?
Yep.
As Hannah is dragging the distance tool along one of the roads, the encoder feeds data into the Arduino board and into the computer. The data is then sent to the computer.
Once we have our road mapped in Excel, we can transfer that data into 3D Paint.
Then we could find the height of the mountain seen both on the paper map, the digital map, and the 3D map using trigonometry. Thank you.
Our next course for you is the IB Theory of Knowledge course. They ask you what you really know and how you really know it.
All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, my name is Ty Anthony McMillan, and I'm a senior here at Renton High School. So in the TOK class, we just finished it last semester. I was just a regular student. I'm in the IB Diploma program, and the students who are in the IB Diploma program are the ones who take this TOK class. It's part of the IB Diploma program requirements to pass a class. The TOK class is composed of, well, basically your IB grade is composed of both the essay score and a presentation score. And today, here at the board meeting presentation, I'm representing TOK today, and what I'm going to be doing is giving a brief overview of what TOK is about and basically summarizing what the class is. If you can all stand up, put your belongings down, that would be wonderful. We're going to get ready to do a little exercise. Please stand up. So the exercise today will be you all running a lap around the school and high-fiving every single pedestrian that you see. Any questions? You over there in the red scarf?
So you want us to run a lap around the school and high five everybody? Why?
Did everyone hear a question? That last part? She asked me why. This question was asked because there was a lack of understanding of the reason behind me asking you guys to run a lap around the school and high-fiving pedestrians. I'm sure a lot of you guys were asking why. You guys can sit down. We're not going to be doing any exercise today. Anyways, it's interesting. As we get older and more exposed to the world's imperfections, we tend to be more skeptical and less willing to do the things when why doesn't align with our own interests. And what I want you all to think about is for us students, even though we are older and more aware of the importance of asking why and knowing what we are getting ourselves into, it's not very often that the average student is asking why in the classroom. We kind of take knowledge in. Sometimes students can go a whole year without participating in class discussions, let alone asking the question why we are learning what we are learning. It's crazy. However, in TOK, the question of why is concentrated in the curriculum. Why do we act the way that we do? Why is my hair the way it is? Why do I know what I know? And even though these questions may be ones that we ask ourselves all the time, TOK pushes for us to address and analyze these from all perspectives, all sides. For example, with the question, why does my hair look the way that it does? The world of TOK bridges in other subject concepts and would address the question by, say, looking at the sciences and thinking about genetics and how that plays a role in the proteins in my hair and how that gives it the shape that it has. Or we look at it culturally, taking on the perspective of what effect does cultural influences have on how I want my hair to look like. There's no one answer in TOK, and that's where it holds its beauty. It pushes for multi-perspective analysis, empathy, and deeper understanding, all without the division and polarization of taking sides and coming to the conclusion that there's only one way to think about things. This is the class that explores school and the real world and thought through various lenses. This is TOK, Theory of Knowledge. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Adriana Cruz. So I'm presenting for physics, which is a class that explores the physical world. It's the study of everything. And for our project, we did, for our presentation, we did the egg drop physics project, which is a common project you'll see in most physics classes, where you drop an egg in a certain device from a distance, usually about a story or so. And what we did here was we used the stuff we learned about momentum and impulse to design devices to protect the egg. As you can see here, you have the change in momentum is equal to force times time, and the change in momentum is also equal to mass times velocity, the change in velocity as you can see on top. And because force times time is equal to the change in momentum, it's also equal to the impulse. And what we did was we tried to create crumple zones, or I guess condensing areas on our devices to lessen the amount of time that it takes for the egg to hit the floor so that the impulse is lesser. In order to minimize the force felt during a collision, we have to increase the time of impact, since change in momentum is the product of force and time. For example, the force you feel when you stop in a car over a sudden, short period of time is far, far greater than the force you'd feel if you stopped gradually.
You can increase the time of an impact by adding cushioning to it, such as airbags in a car. By adding cushioning, you increase the time during the impact of two objects, and therefore you decrease the force experienced by the two objects.
The egg drop physics project is meant to model momentum and impulse in a real-life situation. In it, we drop an egg encased in a device from a distance of about 5 meters, here to there, and hope for the best. All right, Alex, you ready to drop?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Let's open it up.
As you can see, the egg is perfectly fine.
So how do I feel about the board meeting? I think it went really well. We all worked really hard and we proved that we can accomplish anything and we can show off and show how great we are. So I feel really good and I feel really proud to be a teacher here, and I'm really proud that I get to work with such great people. The kids are great, the staff is great, and I'm very proud. I love teaching here and I don't want to go anywhere else.
I think it was a great showing for our students, and it was an awful lot of fun to see them highlight the work that they're doing in the classrooms and to be able to share that with the school board, the superintendent, and our community.
Tonight it was a pretty long night, but at the same time it was pretty good seeing teachers get all their awards, like just standing and teaching people, because I was doing psychology presentation, so I was showing people help themselves with psych, and it was pretty fun going around showing the little kids, putting on perception goggles and watching them play the little games we had, and just seeing them having a good time.
This is Miss San Martin. This was an amazing night. The kids had such a dynamic enthusiasm. They were standing up for a little longer of what I expected, but just their dynamic performances, the community, the collaboration, the happiness, and just the community feeling that tonight we were able to exhibit to everybody else. I am incredibly proud of this evening and what we can showcase to the district. And Renton High School students are just the best, genuinely from my heart. So